is for the ones who care.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. My name is hughwizzy, and today we're going to be talking about Paul Pogba. I know this is from the weekend. The Manchester United defeat Cardiff City, obviously with a 2-0 win, 6th FC. No Champions League football next season. It's going to be a difficult year for those who only got on board for the glory. United have a big rebuilding job to do. Are the Glazers the ones who are going to back Solskjaer? Will they back a manager who they probably aren't that sure about right now? It's all getting very interesting, and a lot of the hate that United fans, you know, the anger that they have over their season, which has been pretty shambolic, from losing Jose Mourinho to the failure of Alexis Sanchez to the disappearance of Marcus Rashford to Martial's anonymity to Lukaku. The blame game, it's easy to do with Manchester United. You can look at the Herrera situation and how people are almost up in arms about that. Not great, especially when he shows the work ethic that so many fans want to see. And someone that is blessed with creativity, you know, natural ability, and obviously is a marketing powerhouse in Paul Pogba, is currently on the end of some similar vitriol to Mesut Ozil, having lost the game against Cardiff 2-0. They're doing the end of season, you know, clapping the fans, lap of honour type of thing. And much like Arsenal's situation, where they said goodbye, or the club was saying goodbye to Petr Cech, Danny Welbeck and Aaron Ramsey. Half the stadium have left, they've gone home, they don't give a shit because the performances were so bad that you don't warrant our time anymore. We've paid good money for this, but really and truly, this is possibly a step too far. Let's have a look at the video. You can make your own mind up whether this is warranted or not. We're going to talk about it.
Oh, fucking Instagram, fucking shite, mate! Fucking shite! Fuck off! Get on your bike, you fuck off! You fucking shit, mate! You are fucking shit! Not even average! Fuck off!
You know, the first thing that strikes me is that you can quite clearly hear, I'm going to say it's two people. One guy, extremely irate, is the way that I'd describe him. He's fuming at the fact that Pogba is... So basically suggesting that Paul Pogba doesn't care about Manchester United or his career or the quality of the football, the performances, the results. That he doesn't care enough. That he isn't treating wearing that shirt or the badge with enough respect. This is the interesting thing for me, right? I know there's a lot of abuse going on, but in the background, you can hear another guy going, yeah, Pogba! Pogba! Yeah, Pogba! Now, call me presumptuous, but I'm gonna say that this fan is actually a fan of Pogba. And he's just happy to be close to a player that he really likes. He's actually calling out his name, in my opinion, because Pogba is actually answering him. He's recognising the fact that he's cheering for him and he's giving the thumbs up. At the same time, you could suggest that Pogba is actually replying to the guy who's giving the abuse by being kind of sarcastic or just reacting in the only way that he really can. It's a very interesting one. I'm really into body language, and Pogba is definitely at some stage responding to the guy who's giving him the abuse by shrugging his shoulders. We've got to talk about Pogba's performance then, because I don't personally think that that's warranted. When I was growing up, Manchester United were playing in a beautiful black kit. Had this yellow Sharp, I think, was the sponsor. Playing Crystal Palace, someone in the crowd said something, and Eric Cantona karate kicked. He like superfly kicked this guy in the crowd right in his chest, midriff. He could have cracked a rib with his studs. That was an era where it's okay for you to say something, right? You know, you've paid for your ticket, say what you like. But if you make it too personal, there are some people in life who will they'll just react. You say the wrong thing to the wrong guy, you're going to get a smack in the face, player or not. Pogba is surrounded by security. There's wives on the pitch. There's kids on the pitch. He's handled himself with humility. There are some people looking at the situation knowing that this isn't right. I'm not sure what's going on. And I think it's actually the other fans shouting out for Pogba with a bit of love or just looking for like acknowledgement. that saves this situation from getting even worse. It has, however, gone viral, and that leads us to talk about Paul Pogba's performances. Okay, now I want you to have a look at this. Manchester United, this is obviously not to be taken as gospel, because statistics they're an aid to being able to judge a player. They shouldn't be the basis of the player judgment or judging the player, in my opinion anyway. You've got to use your eye. You've got to see potential. You've got to see possibilities. You've got to trust a player and, you know, encourage for them to flourish. They're like a flower, players, right? They're like flowers. They need watering all the time, especially the modern ones, right? Proper flowers, pansies. Pogba is an interesting one because he's obviously a good player, right? He's obviously naturally talented. From an early age, he was dominant. If you look at videos of him when he was at United when he was younger, wow, incredibly talented. There's no denying that, right? He's smashing them in from 30 yards when he's 14. You know, he was ahead of his level at that age group, basically. And that has maintained because he has been proven successful at Juventus. He forced that move because he wasn't getting game time, I believe, and was impatient, maybe like Jadon Sancho, the original Jadon Sancho, and he has come back an £89 million player for the World Cup. He was certainly a leader in the dressing room, and a lot of the videos that I've seen are incredibly inspiring. Football's changed so much, right, that back in the day it used to be that managers like Jose Mourinho could maintain the control over players that's needed. Now, basically, you need a Paul Pogba, someone that they can see eye to eye with, because a lot of these young kids that are playing football and getting 70 to 150 plus grand a week are just not of the same mindset as players of yesteryear. Anyway, let's focus back onto this. These are the ratings, the highest rated players, at Manchester United this season. Paul Pogba with 7.6. The closest to that would be Anthony Martial, and Lukaku with 7.2. He's played in 4 positions this year. Left midfield, attacking mid, centre mid and DM. I remember him playing kind of in between here, right? And him having an incredible game. I can't remember who it was against, but he was basically given a free role. And I think he's a lot like Ozil. Not only in the way that he's incredibly naturally gifted, but also in that he's a bit of an enigma. And sometimes body language is deceptive with these type of people. They are creative, they're artistic, they are different to your average, guy. Your Mark Noble carries himself very differently to an Ozil. I've got to say that I think he was good there. However, attacking mid, he's got 4 appearances, 4 goals and 2 assists, which are at an 8.78 rating. And that is incredibly high. I don't know who those games are against, but that's basically clearly where he's best utilised. However, most of the time he has been playing in centre mid. 36 games, 10 goals and 8 assists from centre mid. Now, if you add these all up, we've got 16 and 10. 16 goals and 10 assists. That's the most. He's top scorer at United, right? So, okay, this is in the Premier League alone. He's top scorer in the Premier. He's Manchester United's top scorer in the Premier League. He's got the most assists in the Premier League. How many of these are penalties? They really want to focus this attention on Paul Pogba. It's almost like, I tell you, it's like this Ozil thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's because he is a lazy arsehole, or he doesn't give a shit, or whether they need a scapegoat, or whether they want rid of him, or they don't like the colour of his skin, or the fact that he's Muslim. I don't know what it is. Is it that he's not fulfilling his potential and they're frustrated at the fact that they've spent an incredible amount of money and he seems to just be not taking it seriously enough? It could be a number of things. I can't put my finger on any of it. It could be all of them. I know for a fact, especially having watched this video, that there are certain people that just want him gone. They don't care anymore. Manchester United have been so bad this season, and fans expect so much more. People blame Pep Guardiola or Manchester City for ruining football and saying that they're spending too much money. But ultimately, they're still getting the job done. United are still spending a lot of money, perhaps not quite as much, but they should be doing a better job. How they have, much like Arsenal, capitulated towards the end is laughable for a club of that stature and status. But is Paul Pogba to blame? The wages at Premier League clubs are astronomical, and United were last season at the top of that list with £296 million spent on wages. So fans have a right to be frustrated if they're not getting the results or the performances that they think their club warrants. But from what I can see, he's been their best player. Perhaps I'm misjudging that because he's still taking penalties and it's maybe, you know, outweighing the stats or weighing the stats in his favour. But in all honesty, I've watched a few games where I thought, wow, if Rashford could finish, then he'd have 4 assists. Is he going to move? There's been lots of talk of Eden Hazard's deal to Real Madrid being done already. I'm pretty sure that Zidane would love to have Paul Pogba in his side. We'll see. Is he committed to United? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new and drop the video a damn like if you breathe oxygen.